All right, guys, this should be back. That was fun. That's part of the problem with being in a hotel, and you get in a hotel at like, I don't know, 8:30, something like that. You know, your first day or wherever you're at, and you come in, and then you register on the Wi-Fi, and then 24 hours pass, and that 24-hour period just hit when that dropped that stream. So it don't care. It don't care that you have an open connection to the internet talking to a whole bunch of people. It will drop you. So that's what happened. So I had to reestablish it. Yeah, sorry, no hat. I've actually, I don't know where my hat is, guys. I lost my SpaceX hat. It's killing me. So I will order another one if I can't find it. But I had some people asking me about trying to like put that up for like charity auction or something, which would be hilarious. But NASA saves lives, exactly. Yeah. So yeah. So we'll get back to, we'll finish this last piece, and I'll let you guys ask some questions. We'll try to get through some questions. There's a ton of content I want to get to when I get back. And I actually tried to pick up some stuff today at Micro Center, and they literally did not have hardly anything. They had some 1080 Ti's I was thinking about picking up, but there's no AMD cards. I mean, like nothing. And they're still doing that $10,000 if you buy 3 crap with 1070s. I haven't even looked at ETH. ETH's been so far up and down today. It's been ridiculous. Get your ETH back from Barney Cleese to buy you new SpaceX at top. Barney Cleese is cool. We reached out to him and Paul's Hardware and a couple other folks about coming over, checking it out. I was trying to actually, they are big advocates for gaming and that kind of stuff. Jace, 2 Cents, all those dudes are like the big, reviewers and stuff and of gaming hardware. And I'm trying to stay on the good side of all those dudes that are out there. That, I mean, we're kind of pulling from their main core when it comes to making all the prices rise from graphics cards. So just try to let them understand. If they understand mining through their own networks and stuff, they can help explain it to their folks, which there's a ton of them. So I was trying to help them by incentivizing them by sending us some ETH to understand it, and if you send somebody a full ETH, that's worth a little bit of money right now. So I can't get Paul's Hardware and Kyle to actually set up a ETH address. You would think if you incentivize them with giving them an ETH, they'd do it, but who knows? So I answered some more questions. I mean, we lost about half the stream, and that's what happens. My screen still shows offline, which is hilarious. I haven't seen what the all the exchanges are so jacked up right now with price. But so what do you guys got? Maybe I'll answer a few more questions. Yeah, I think Paul will come around too. He seemed kind of interested in it. I was trying to get them to subscribe and just try to understand what's going on. Do you think about the P106 and the P104 mining hash rates? I have no. I mean, there's people that's talked about them being 60. I can't imagine them being 60 mega hash. Maybe low 30s if they've optimized a driver. I'd be very interesting. So here's the deal: if they go out and they optimize the driver for NVIDIA to make the mining cards enhanced or better, there's a good chance that software will end up in the primary driver as just another feature. You don't spend money as a company. You don't spend money on development like that and not distribute it. It just doesn't make sense. So if they've done any kind of adjustments on it, I can see them making some making some potential upgrades to the next driver set for folks. But I don't know. There's all kinds of just stuff talked about if it's only going to be like Genesis or those folks getting them, or until they show up on the market. It's all speculation. Somebody, Blazer, who's asking, can you explain Ripple? What do you want me to explain with Ripple? Do you hash me outside? Nice name, bro. Do you think the mining cards will be worth it? Probably have to resell. The mining cards are it's a like a ASIC question, right? I mean, if they're only going to be used for mining, it's saying how long until they're deprecated, which means how long until they're still worth the power that they're being used for. Or you got some use cases where people were mining Litecoin well into when ASIC started at a loss, but they still acquired enough Litecoin, and if they held that, it paid off. So it really comes down to how long that's going to last with those cards. Meaning, like if Vega and the next version of Vega comes out, and the next versions of NVIDIA's series has come out, and let's say they double the hash rates. I doubt it, but let's say they double, then the mining cards are based on 1060s. There'll be that. Out of dual mining options, which one would be choose the long-term value? It really comes. Long-term value is predicated on what the potential use case is. I mean, Scicoin has a potential long use case. Library credits. If library's storage, media system catches on, it could be very good value for them. It's I always tell everybody, take a hedge on them. If you believe in the coin, do the research, help promote the the use of it, help educate people on how they work. If you look at Dash, is really around that kind of concept of having Amanda out there trying to educate people and let them understand what's coming up and what's coming new, and having that kind of constant update and feed. Steam it and the Steam Power and all that stuff. That whole content platform has some interesting value to it. You're not mining that, but what else you guys got? GTX 1060 3 gigs, yes, they're some of the cheapest cards out there, and they work just as well as everything else. On our website, bitsbetrippin.com, I put one of the folks that actually follow us kind of put together a really nice tabled depiction of the DAG file and when the 3 gigs are going to expire out at current rate if they do not get proof of stake ready and they have to back the difficult bomb back out and then re-put it further down. You wouldn't have the 3 gig cards going out of life, end of cycle essentially for Ethereum until the end of November of 2018, so more than a year. What else do we got? I was gonna give you guys like 25 minutes or so, a half hour of question and answer. Which wallet? I use Jax for the mobile phone. I have Mist loaded on one of the computers that I have offline, and I do some offline storage with, but from an Ethereum standpoint. But use you got Coinbase, you got some of the exchange. I don't keep a ton of the exchanges anymore. I just don't. Not that I don't trust them. I just so much bad stuff's happened. I like everybody. Anybody that was still dealing with Bitcoin back in December of 13 and into January lost stuff on Mt. Gox, so learned a lesson there. Can you build a profitable rig for under $1,000? It's all predicated on what you get the cards for. Secondary market, people that don't understand what they have maybe I mean, there was some stuff I saw on Craigslist that thought it was BS. It was just a dude trying to get rid of his computer, and he had a couple 480Xs on there, and I mean, the whole computer was like $800, and I was like doing the math. I'm like, wait a minute, dude. So I was nice, and I sent it a message to him saying, you know, you probably should divest those cards. You know, I just didn't want. The dude could have got more than what he was asked for. Let's just say that. They weren't $200 cards. We all know that. I mean, somebody could have gave him a fair price, you know, $250, $260, maybe an extra $60 a card. How did you first get into mining? I got into mining in early 2012, and it was from a Reddit post I saw on a cryptographic forum when I was actually looking up something completely different. It had to do with like certificates for a server, and then it kind of got me down this path of understanding encryption, and then I got into a forum that started talking about Bitcoin, and anybody that knows us and knows around us knows that I used to run a lot of development stuff with work. So as part of an incentive to make sure the developers are happy, I put together like several PCs, like 8 PCs in my basement house. So I had a lot of PCs, and it was kind of like a, you know, invite everybody over, let everybody have like a game night, kind of chill out, be able to kind of get their mind off of code, get their mind off of, you know, what their workload was, and then try to just, you know, you get some of the best honest feedback from people if they feel comfortable. So part of that's just saying, hey, you know, are you struggling? Are you having an issue? You know, and trying to nurture, especially the newer programmers, just to feel comfortable. And then to, I mean, so as owning a project and cost ownership on a project, some of the biggest issues is if you're not getting the truth, right? So if somebody's struggling, if a developer's struggling and they really need assistance, I want to provide that to them. So if I can break that ice, get them comfortable, then they can say, hey, you know, I don't know this piece, but I know this. Then I can fix that. So it was kind of this weird conundrum of having a lot of computers, understanding what Bitcoin was, and then being able to set up those computers as like the 5870, like old AMD 5870 graphics cards, 9700 Pro. I mean, I had some old stuff on there, and just started mining Bitcoin in early 2012. It was kind of a weird way about going it. I just want to explain why I had like 8 computers in my basement. So that way you guys were like, what the hell? What else we got? Well, we probably only have 17 likes, Miss BBT, because I've had all kinds of technical issues today. Can you mine Litecoin? Yes, with ASIC machines, not with our GPUs. You can start a mining rig with whatever. If you can get a graphics card pretty cheap, any of the graphics cards that can mine pretty cheap, yeah, you could set up a rig easily for $800. ETH had some interesting activity with it today. I mean, it was down pretty low, but I mean, once they get this ICO and this network degradation figured out, I think everything will go back to normal. I don't see any other indicator that's going to cause it to, you know, spill out. Do you see the 1060 edition leaks? They do not have outputs for monitors. So I've heard that they're going to be daughter card based, which just means you're going to have another graphics card in your computer and you'll put them in as like secondary cards. Essentially, that's what we're doing right now, guys. It's not any foreign. And think about any of the mining rigs we build that we plug the monitor into the base of the board. That's essentially what's going on. There's no reason for them to build cards with HDMI ports and DVI ports and all that other stuff if we're going to just use the onboard motherboard video. So that's not too foreign. The value proposition of reselling the card gets interesting because now it's where if you're buying normal GPUs, you could just sell them back to the community for gaming and other purposes. Very simple. What's your overall prediction for future cryptocurrency? From a prediction, I believe there's going to be eventually mass adoption on the public side. How does that translate into cash? It's not that easy of a correlation. Certain market things could happen to where they adjust the price of application runtime on Ethereum to make it cheaper to account for the high price. I mean, there's speculative marketing and people buying in. Just the mass amount of folks buying into it at a high rate is just driving it up because the supply. There's not tons and tons of supply out there. So it's super predicated on all kinds of other things that have that could drive price all over the place. Bottom line, crypto is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and there's tons of use cases that are being worked on right now. It's just more of how does it start to weave into the fabric of current things that are in flight, that are being produced, and that kind of thing. Um, 1060s and 1070s skyrocketed today. I mean, all the cards have been skyrocketing, man. It's just... You want a vintage card episode? I do have some old 290s and 5870s and... Well, the 5870s, 68 series won't work with any of the newer stuff, but 3 gigs work fine with Zcash. I'm gonna answer a few more questions here, guys, and we're at 16 minutes. I know this is a really weird kind of broken up thing, and again, I hope the first part was okay for most of you. If you go out to our website, bitsbetripping.com, there's a Discord channel on there. You can just click it, and it takes you straight into Discord. Yeah, Spencer, we'll go back in and readjust all those graphics card links. There's some popping up every day. I mean, I had a few text messages from folks today that Best Buy had restocked in general across the country, and some folks were being able to pick up. And Best Buy hadn't changed their prices at all. Like, actually, they were discounting the 1070. Like, I walked in there today looking for this thing that I'm using that I had trouble getting set up earlier. This, what is this thing? This El Capo, what is this? Yeah, the game capture thing that I'm using right now for this with the laptop. And I went into Best Buy, and the guy said, some guys just walked out with the last bit of cards that they got in. But somehow the Best Buy out here I'm in Bethesda, Maryland right now, and the Best Buy out here had like I don't know, 5 or 6 RX 588 gigs come in, like minutes before I walked in. And they were selling them for like $259. Like, what? Oh, you guys are awesome. Super chats. Like a boss. What we got here? Daniel Johns Z. Do you think we can grab a BIOS from mining cards? Grab the BIOS from mining cards and increase the performance and statistics. So the BIOS is for the NVIDIAs. The reason why you don't see BIOSes out for the NVIDIAs is it's encrypted. So NVIDIA encrypts their BIOS, so you can't adjust that. All you can do is do soft clocks on you can drop the power, and you can increase the GPU and the memory. So no BIOSes for NVIDIA cards. But the NVIDIA cards are performing pretty well with just soft clocks. Corey Ketcher, I think it's what that is. With the Asus Prime 270 motherboard, I cannot get the onboard video to register after I add my GPUs. You can go in there and set the onboard, it's IPG, and set that to the onboard graphics to be primary, and then it'll stay on all the time. and do that. Like, you can unplug your GPU. So if all your mining rig is there, just unplug all the riser cards, plug in your onboard video, boot it up, go into the BIOS, set your onboard as primary, like don't let it do auto switch, and then plug your GPUs back in. Jay Duba, $8, man. Thanks, buddy. Ashrin Mathur, what's the best overclock settings for RX 570 Gaming X? So the 570 Gaming X, if you can get 1950 out of the memory, but you don't want to update that BIOS. So if you go out, there's I believe we have a link for the RX 570 Gaming. I'm going to take a note of that, Ashrin. If you send me an email at bitsbetrippin or at bitsbetrippin@gmail.com, I'll make sure if I have a BIOS, I'll send it to you. Otherwise, I'll get you one that's I know there's a few out there, and I'll send you the BIOS for it. Any thoughts on the dip of Ethereum? Yeah, there's going to be, so a lot of the price, the way it is right now, guys, with no primary application running on the main chain, is that you're going to have a lot of price manipulation and just people taking some profit and getting a dip, getting everybody freaking out like they are right now, and then everybody will start to sell, and then they'll catch that Ethereum back on the way back up. So I wouldn't read into it too much. I mean, there's issues on the network. When there's issues on the network, when somebody does something, people start to take a reflection of like, okay, this is still pretty like a infant, and we need to fix things like where people can't go break production. So confidence gets a little shook, and some people exit. Other people are pushed when you see a price drop like that. So it's all about looking at what the future is with it, and if you believe in that future, I mean, as Hodor says, hold the door. Nice hash. And again, this is not financial advice by Carter. This is just explaining the context of what the potential is, and if you believe in that potential, and you like I believe in it, I invest in it. So I don't want somebody to come back, well, Carter told me to do it, and now I'm suing him. Is mining here to stay? I think mining is here to stay for a long, long time. I think it'll change like anything else over time. I think that the value proposition for the mining cards, the large industry is not stupid, so that are making these products. So I think they're going to cater. I mean, look at the investments on an architectural standpoint that's going on right now. ASRock, BioStar made pretty significant investments to have production lines to create specific motherboards for it. Given the fact that graphics cards go on those motherboards, I have no doubt that they've already been in talks in some capacity with the graphics card companies. So as most of these things happen, any kind of symbiotic relationship of a supply chain, such as a motherboard to a processor company to a graphics card company, it's the lifeblood to ensure that they're succinct in some capacity. So I'm reading the market indicator of the fact that a motherboard company would not take a lot of risk like that unless other facets of industry are going to support them in that capacity. Now doesn't predicate anything if mining sticks around, right? If all the coins and the folks that are doing the development of the coins all collectively decide that they don't like proof of work, then everybody's kind of hit. That would be, I cannot imagine a world with that with crypto, where the mining effort is what really incubated a lot of these cryptocurrencies, and continue to incubate and continue to speculate the price and give the development teams the capital that they need to survive, to be able to write code. So it's a life cycle in general, and I think that certain feature sets of certain coins are going to take advantage of the fact that they have a huge amount of distributed power pointed to them. as anybody that's working on distributed computing in general, when they start doing the math of the potential ops per second that they could derive from a distributed graphics card supercomputer, it starts to get some of those guys pretty excited. So I can't imagine that going away. It all comes down to value proposition and how much value can that coin be, and does it meet or exceed the operations cost, depreciation cost of equipment, and cost of the graphics card, the power usage. Oh, got a super chat, $20, Corey, buddy. You no more. I'm good. $20, buddy. What is your recommendation method to auto start your miner on power up? I am a nice hash and I can't get it to do auto boot onboard video. So the auto boot for, like, if you have a batch file, super easy. We actually have it on our bitsbetrippin.com. If you go all the way down, you hit next page, and you go down about halfway again. We'll see if we can get it posted up to the top. I do not like I swear to God, guys, I'm working on the website, but we have the auto start for Windows put on there if you have a batch file. For nice hash, I don't remember if they have an automation sequence. You can go into the Windows scheduler and have that executable fire up. But I don't know if we have it set to where you can auto set the start. I'll look into it. I mean, that was a pretty good donation, and I'm going to definitely spend some time trying to answer that question. And if I can throw it into one of the next videos, I will. Let me make sure I get that down from auto start. Start mining for nice hash. All right, let's scroll back up. We'll go for another 4 minutes, guys, or so, and then we'll the scheduler failed. Yeah, I think there's some stuff you have to do with the scheduler to make it actually work. Like, you're gonna have to go into group policy and edit and allow you're gonna have to do some stuff with that, with group policy, I believe, to get that to work right. Because the scheduler is just not gonna execute the job because it's from a non-trusted thing. I just bought 980 Ti. Founders, should I be using two 1000 watt? Yes, you're gonna need two 1000s just for the 6 and 8 pin out, or was that 6 or 8? You could get by with one. You could get by with one 1600 G2, P2, or T2 EVGA Supernova. One of those should work for a 6-card rig because that has enough. It has 9. The 1600 G2, P2, and T2 have 9 actual of the PCI Express connections, and then the power, and then 6 of them have the dual. So more than enough. The 6 and the 8 pin. It just gets complicated if you have the 2 8 pins, because then you have to get the adapter. What mining? Exactly what? I missed that. Because we're scrolling. What is mining exactly, and what are we trying to do exactly? So you missed part of the beginning, but in a nutshell, mining is providing a service for a platform for folks to do stuff on. So you're just providing a service to facilitate transactions and validation of transactions. That's what mining does. The other part of mining is they all solve a proof of work. A proof of work on an algorithm to gain rights to tokens that are the incentivized portion of the network. So it's kind of 2 parts. You're doing work, actual work, like posting transactions and validating them, and then you're doing this other work, which is the proof of work thing, which makes the graphics card have to work a lot. And that effort is to secure the network in a nutshell. Exodus Wallet. I have not used Exodus Wallet, guys. I don't know if it's good or not. I can take a look and see. I I have not tried Exodus. I do Jax and Mist and Problem J. Let's see here. Man, you guys are scrolling pretty fast. I will notice the power difference between running a... It's not about the power differences. It's all about the pinouts that you have for the express, you know, for the extra power for the graphics cards. So a 6 and 8 pin, you won't. The power differences are negligible because you're not going to get close to 2,000 watts. You'll be at like 13 or 1250 before you do power decrease, and then you should be at like 900 or something with 6. And actually, the 1080 Ti's you have to increase in power, so, but you still won't hit 2,000. You won't come close to 2,000. You won't come close to 1,600. 8 GTX 1080 Ti's, you're going to need 2 power supplies. You're just not going to have enough. It will be under the power requirement, or just at the power requirement of 1,600, but you won't have enough actual the actual rails for it. There physically won't be enough, so you have to go to 2. And we still have not tried Pimp. I'm gonna try to get a copy maybe this week, maybe. I have those 2 episodes I really want to get done, and it won't be Pimp, so maybe it'd be the following, into that following week. Hash rate numbers for 1080s, non-TIs. Hash rate numbers for 1080s is like maxed out, maybe 25, 26 mega hash. Most of them are like 23. They're not good. And that's the DDR5X is the main contributing factor to that. Zcash, 550, 575, somewhere around there from souls per second. Still a couple hundred less than the TIs. I mean, really, the 1080s, I mean, if you're a gamer and you find this video and you actually make it to this point, I mean, how far are we in? We're like maybe 30 minutes into this video. Maybe we'll put a little thing saying gamers watch this part. Right now, if you own an RX in general, 470, 570, 480, 580, you should probably sell your card. There's a miner out there in the world looking for it. And then take those proceeds and buy yourself a 1080, because a lot of us are not really, I mean, the 1080s are good. They're okay. I mean, if you put, like I have a 7-card rig of 1080s, and they're great for Zcash. I mean, it's like a 4,000 soul 7-card rig. I mean, I'm right at, I think it's like 4,018, something like that, almost 4,100. If I overclock it heavier, I can get to 4,100, but I think it's right at 4,000. Which 4,000 soul rig is not bad, but it's not for the cost. Hey, Digital Gold, no problem, bro. I dropped a tweet out there for you guys, and you guys like doubled your thing, so it's pretty good. I had about 350, I think, tonight, and then my stream, the hotel decided to dump my stream, and I haven't recovered, so. But I value the folks that are here. I don't have rigs behind me today, so I mean, like right now, they're just see a dude talking to a camera. So, when I put that 8-card 1080 Ti rig out there, I might break a few of my own records out there, I'm assuming. Especially if I can get it to a little more than that. I'm going to answer a few more questions, guys. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of stuff here. I'll buy your Red Devils. I love my 570 Red Devils. They are sick. Those things, if you guys can get a hold of those 570 Red Devils, 4 gigs, they are ridiculous. That BIOS that I have out there is like 29.8 mega hash. They are rock star stable. Do I have a video? You know what? I think I can pipe in a video. Check this out. This is, I took a video. Hold on. I'm going to do this because this is amazing. Let's see here. Screen capture. Add in video. 19th. Rip headphone users if this is loud. I don't know.
We'll ask if we have.
This is the Red Devils.
Cards, 191.
And look at that time, 121 hours.
See how long?
Yeah, 27.8. They're 27.8 if you run them very low on power.
This build here, this was a Red Devil.
So that was them kind of hung on the
570.
The thing. Yeah, 570s. Things were sick. And it was the funny part about that is I actually didn't even, like, I left it, we left it on the rack. Like, I didn't want to touch them. I'm like, everything is perfect with this build. I don't want to touch it. So those are the RX 570 Red Devil 4 gigs, and they are spectacular. Yes, Richard, I talked about the ETH crash today. Don't worry about it. It's fine. No, you just watch the video later. Rewatch it. I talk at length about it. When will Polony X start processing ETH withdrawals? When is anybody? I don't even think the issue's down. I think there's still an issue right now. Like I sent Jax. Like I don't know, like a couple, I don't know, maybe a Bitcoin worth to get some ETH at the low price that it was, and it hasn't processed yet either. So yeah, the cheapest TI the Founders Edition does like 780 souls, like if you overclock it. So cheapest TI is more than enough. It's great. All right, guys, 3 more minutes. I'm gonna wrap it up. That'll be a 40-minute video with questions and answers, and I should be able to have a video out for you. I recorded a whole bunch of stuff you guys probably see. I brought the drone with me. I actually did an unboxing of this, but this isn't really our channel. So I did a whole unboxing of a new drone. I got rid of my old drone and got when I go on travel like this and trips and stuff, I usually try to get some cool shots of places. And being in DC, and I'm in Bethesda, and I'm super close to the actual District of Columbia, and they kind of frown on like drones flying over stuff around here, so I got to be like super careful, and I have to report everything I'm doing with it. But let me get this thing. So I picked up this little guy here. So this is a Mavic. This is the Max Pro version. So this is like a modified version of the Mavic, which has like extensions and cool looking carbon fiber, and this thing that looks interesting, let's just say. Look at that thing. It's like Tune in Tokyo stuff. Max Mod Edition. So this thing's like some next level like range stuff for the drone, so I can get some pretty cool shots with it. So the part of the vlog is I wanted to have some good you know, like transitional aerial footage and stuff when I'm trying to set the scene up and stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be probably tomorrow's vlog. Yeah, and I got a haircut. I mean, I'm all balled up. I've been running like every night. Now, like I'm getting off this thing and I'm going to run. Staying healthy. Getting healthy. Can you mine with the drone? That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, anyways, so check your Best Buys. We will go out and update all the links that we can to find you guys some cards, but Best Buy was discounting the 1070s, so I don't know why. It's like nonsensical. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up and check us out, and I'll hopefully have a video out for you tomorrow. Friday, I'm traveling, so I'm not going to have any video. I'm literally flying back to the area. So Saturday, we're doing a live stream. We'll get it posted on the site and show you guys when, probably 7:30-ish Central Time. But you'll catch us Saturday, and we'll probably have one on Sunday, too. I'll probably go back-to-back because I have a lot of content I want to get out to you guys. So stay tuned. And we'll bring some good stuff to you guys, and I'll stay in the chat for a little bit and jump in Discord a little bit too. So thanks for watching, guys.